Whew, here we go. Tech and Chill Show Sunday. Tech and Chill Show Sunday. Right. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. What's good, everyone? Welcome to Sunday's Tech and Chill Show. All right, let's see who's in. Let's see who we got. Let's see who we've got in the building. Wait for the party joiners. Let's wait for the party joiners. See who's in. So we've got Kishan. Kishan's in. Let's make sure that we're not too loud, I guess. Quality's good. In fact, your live stream is brought to you in 4K UHD. So this live stream is being streamed in 4K UHD. So if you've got the bandwidth and the internet, click the gear icon for the settings and turn that up to 2160 or even 1440p. This stream should be coming in nice, hot, and crispy. Yeah. Content creator Jermaine finally made it for a live stream when it's actually happening live. Yeah, so I've tweaked things, man, and I'm now able to live stream in 4K, which is really nice. It's good. So let's just make sure in terms of audio as well. If someone can let me know if the video feed matches the audio feed and there is no delay, whether it's the video being too early or the audio being too late, or the audio being too early, the video being too late. Let me know if everything syncs up. I did test it all yesterday and it should be good. It should be good. It should be good. But when it comes to the other end, I just want to make sure that everything is nice and crystal before we proceed. As always, for those who have never attended a Tech and Chill show, we try and keep it to 1 hour. It's 3 main topics, and if we've got time, we add another bonus topic, or we feed it off the Q&A based on what you guys, the audience, want to see. So yeah, that's the Tech and Chill show, baby. I hope you guys have all been good. Let me close this down. So there's a slight delay. Yes, I can see a slight delay. Let me go into the advanced audio properties and do a offset. Let me try. Yeah. The audio is milliseconds ahead. Yeah, so I've added like a 10 millisecond offset delay to it. It should be feeding through. It should be feeding through. So let me know if the delay is better. Should be better now. Should be better now. The weird thing is I can't ever really tell if it's weird. Yo, JD Tech TV in the house. Whoa, what? I think it's the first time I've had JD on here. What's good? What's good? JD in the house. What's good, fam? Welcome. Oh man. Um, I don't know. I don't know. The audio is clear. The video is clear. I just don't know if the offset's too much now. Let me just go to advanced properties again. Maybe 7 milliseconds. Seven. I've put it down to instead of 10. I never seem to catch these. I'm glad I was able to. Yes, thank you. Thank you. So the initial part of the Tech and Chill show. Yeah, so JD, since, it's kind of like your first time being in a live stream, Tech and Chill shows are usually Sundays, somewhere on or around 8, 9 p.m., GMT time, British time. And it just depends on when I put the kids to sleep and whatnot and just get myself sorted and whatnot. So it's usually around an hour. We pick 3 solid topics that have happened in the world of tech for the week. Try and keep it fresh. And then, if, what you call it? If we have time, we can have a Q&A and also a bonus round topic where we can talk tech. So what's good is, thanks to the help of Damien as well, I should be able to record these live streams. Again, if you guys don't know, the live streams are coming to you in 4K UHD. So click the settings if you've got the bandwidth, man. Stream that up in 1440p and 4K UHD. So I should be able to record this. And I think what I want to do for the direction, now it's a bit off. Did you change something? Yeah, I think. Um, go back to the 10 millisecond delay. Okay, thank you. Let me go back to the 10 millisecond delay. I'll put it down to 7. So maybe 11 milliseconds. So I've put it to 11. What camera I need to buy ASAP? I'm using an A6300 at the minute, but I think I would advise you to get the A6400 or even an A6100 at least. The old A63 and A6500 have crazy overheating issues. So A6100, A6400, maybe the A6600, definitely the A7 III, no doubt. Those newer Sony cameras are much better. Man's on the big 4K TV in it. 4K. Thank you. Yes, so you should really be able to benefit from the quality. So what I want to do in terms of like, kind of adapting the content for this channel is making sure that I can record these 1 hour live streams, and which I'm able to now, and I should be able to condense them into smaller video or videos depending on how well I edit it, and just upload them through the week so that whoever wants to watch it in the replay crew, is just much easier to replay it back. I will try and still find a way to get back into efficiently doing reviews, first impressions, comparisons, but just again in my capacity right now, I really, Damien knows, I really can't. I want to, but it's just a lot. It's just a lot at the minute. Sync is good on my side. Thank you, JD. All right. Let me just give a shout out for everyone. Kishan's in here. Concept creator Jermaine, what's good? Glenn, what's good? Damien Wild, what's good? Murray QHD, what's good? Have you heard of Bezelgate? I think so. JD Tech TV, yes, the living legend himself, was good. Yeah, we've got enough of a squad in here, man. So whoever else wants to join, I'm gonna hit record and we're gonna get this party started. Woo! All right, I get excited for these, man. I get excited for these because this is me in my element. This is me in my element, yo. Okay, let's pull up the browser. We got things that we need to first topic. So Oh, whew. All right, let's go. I'm gonna hit record. Boom. Okay. So we are starting this week's Tech and Chill Show, Sunday, 22nd of September. And we've got a couple of topics to run through. So this isn't necessarily probably might be a surprise or might not be a surprise, because obviously it's been iPhone week in terms of official open book sales and so many other things. But yeah, man, let's kick this off. So I think you guys have seen the initial title and it says it right there. 65 watt charging. Now, last week we were talking about 30 watt wireless charging, which we're going to bring it up again, but I wanted to lead with this 65 watt charging. So I think a couple of you guys would have probably seen this topic already. And again, I'm not ignoring your comments. Like I want to, again, as usual, spray through the bars. And then, we will talk as we see what you guys feel in terms of your opinion. But, one of the topics tonight is 65 watt charging. And that is coming from your guys at Oppo. So this is nuts. Stuff like this is what gets me excited, man. Stuff like this is what gets me mad pumped up. So let's kick this off, man. And this is something I saw a tweet, and I had to even bookmark it because I was thinking like, raw. So this was tweeted out on the 17th of September. So it's about 5 days ago. So this is from Oppo themselves. And, they announced 3 new charging technologies for their mobile phone platform, right? And so basically they started with 65 watt Super VOOC 2.0. Now this is building off on the support, from what I remember, the 50 watt charging on the Lamborghini edition of the Find X for the Super VOOC version 1.0. They've also announced 30 watt wireless charging VOOC technology, which is pretty much in line with what Xiaomi announced last week. And also the much more affordable, accessible 20 watt VOOC 4.0, building on from phones like the Oppo Reno the Oppo Reno series. So this is nuts. Let's just break this down. Let's take this in. In the days where we're getting excited that Apple finally added an 18 watt power delivery to USB Type C to Lightning charger finally, since supporting fast charging from like 2 years ago. This is nuts to see. So this is something that they were demonstrating in Shenzhen, China. This is nuts. This is crazy. So 65 watt VOOC 2.0, right? And again, they were charging this like on your typical large smartphone battery, which is on or around 4,000 milliamps. So on or around 4,000 milliamps. And it's just interesting, man. So I mean, let me even see like what they were even doing in retrospect too. So boom. Sorry for the Twitter compression. So yeah, I think that just went so quick. Like it kind of mimics and imitates what that was demonstrating. So let me just play that baby again. That's nuts. That is nuts. Basically 27 minutes and you've got 100% charge of a 4,000 milliamp hour battery. Let that sink in. So obviously there was a lot of battery size toggle with the iPhone 11 Pro Max, which is kind of been confirmed that it's 3,996, which with all things considered, that's impressive for how conservative battery size capacity is, generally speaking, with Apple. So just imagine that kind of capacity that you're finding in phones like, the OnePlus, what do you call it, like the OnePlus 7 Pro, Galaxy S10 Plus, 4100, Huawei Mate 20 Pro, 4200, same for the P30 Pro. Just imagine those phones that you've got. Yes, shout out to Alex Tech Focus in the house. Those phones that you use on a regular basis, imagine being able to charge that from dead zero. We're talking about flat dead zero throughout in 28 minutes, basically less than 30 minutes. Worst case scenario, maybe 35 minutes. That's nuts. That's just like, I was getting excited for the fact that we were getting wireless charging, which is something that they've obviously added to. We're getting wireless charging. We're getting wireless charging at 30 watts. But you see, if you're looking at the efficiencies that they're having in there, 4,000 milliamp hour from 1% to 127 minutes, fully charged in 30 minutes. But battery's not. The solution to that's crazy. That's crazy. This is real. Before I keep saying this, before we get to that point where we have genuine new battery cell capacity technology where we can genuinely rely on our phones not to be charged in a space of 3 to 5 days, this is the next best thing in battery innovation. From the times where we used to have removable batteries, this is the next best thing. Like, this is nuts, and this, like, I don't. Oppo have proven themselves from the original VOOC days, and they deserve all the accolades for this. This is crazy. 65 watt Super VOOC version 2.0, building from what they had with the Lamborghini edition for the Find X. And I cannot tell you that when I see stuff like this, this is on point, And I know that they've put, for all the worries that we have in terms of, battery degradation, like, it gets to a point where it does not matter so much. 1, 2, it's a dual cell. It's built on their dual cell technology. So it's 2 5-volt batteries working together. So they'll be able to split the strain into 2. 1, 3, they've put the research and the development in there to be able to sustain the longevity of these batteries. And this is where I keep always coming back to the point that we need to challenge the justification of why these smartphones are getting more expensive. And it really needs to tie back to things that are much, much more useful for real life benefits. This is a big real life benefit. This is a big real life benefit, and I'm all for it. I'm down for what Oppo are doing. This is sick. This is sick. And again, I wanted to catch you lot's opinion, and we'll move over to the 30 watt wireless charging and also the new VOOC 4.0 technology based on their 20 watt output as well, and kind of really just see, like, it's just something where people, I better hope this is important, especially for a flagship phone, right? But how do people feel about this? Are they seeing this as a benefit? Is this just completely overkill, or is this a necessary step forward? So let me pull up, because there's just a lot of conversation that you guys were doing. Mo QHD and concepts, you're talking about cameras. I'm going to check on the phone because JD said sync was fine. It ain't. Record your audio separately though, but makes sense to have both in case you cool. So I'm just, before you guys were just talking about cameras, I'm trying to see whoever commented. I want to compare how much. Okay. JD Tech TV. Oppo doesn't get the respect they deserve. Their phones as a whole, but I love Oppo. They always come out with new innovative features in tech other companies can implement into their phones. Exactly. And I think it's obviously their demographic location as well. But you have got to give them credit for their licensing and where they're focusing their research. Every company has their focus point of where they put their research and development in terms of hardware investment, software optimization on the long haul, right? And you can tell, like, in the long run, Oppo's benefiting from the battery charging tech that they're investing in on a wider spread, not just for their devices, but also for, you know, what the industry can use as a benchmark of what they need to attain to for their flagship phones, especially as these flagship phones are really, really getting damn well expensive, really, really expensive. OnePlus are too. They're the parent company. They're not the parent company. It's different how it's set up. It's BBK Electronics is the parent company, and then you've got sister companies. They all work separately. It's the same as how VW owns so many car entities, from Bentley to Porsche. You know, they're all separate entities, but they're just under the VW Group family. Agreed. Daily Tech TV, this is Concept Creator answering. They are honestly the drive that OnePlus releases after. Exactly. It's Oppo that does it before OnePlus, and Oppo, yeah, often with design as well. Yo, what's good, Alex? Yeah, it's OP who dictates the yeah, that's a crazy. I still do wonder how it affects battery in the long run. It shouldn't that much because it's not based on a single cell. It's a dual cell technology with 2 5-volt batteries. So this is where, yes, there will be some guys, like Apple was suffering battery gate issues and their phones weren't even fast charging, right? It's just a nature of how lithium polymer and lithium ion batteries are built. But this is where we should be demanding them to put research and development to make sure that they're improving their efficiencies and the long-term usage of these batteries, whether it's through the battery materials themselves, the algorithms on a firmware to a software level, and also just clever techniques like dual cell, you know, to be able to make sure that these batteries are lasting that 3, 4, 5 years, you know, half a decade as we're expecting them for normal use, you know. So recognizing OP and Oppo in the same way. My only concern would be about, this is Glenn here, about battery longevity that would be sort of charging. You know, OnePlus ain't the parent company of it. Oppo was there, then people left to create OnePlus. Thought they had ambience length photography was good. Yes, BBK Electronics is the parent company. And I think more, yeah, Realme is part of that as well. But they are, what people need to understand is these companies are still separate entities. Yes, things might crisscross, but they still operate as separate entities. There's no different to how VW runs their business with all their different car entities. Alex from Tech Focus replying to Damien, no, I've just got home 3 hours of driving and shooting. Committed. My boy's back at it again. Yep. There's a point of diminishing returns on how batteries can cool off and breaking down of batteries over time. Yeah, listen, JD's a physicist, so I trust what you're saying. Bigger batteries have trouble maintaining strength than smaller capacity ones. Yep, that's true. And man, I have a question. What phone should I get? Get whichever phone you can afford, whether you love an iPhone or you love an Android. If you want an Android phone, definitely say, you know, OnePlus 7 Pro right now. I think that's overall the best Android phone. Not perfect, but the best Android phone with the best Android experience. And if you want an iPhone, you don't have a choice but to get the new iPhones, unfortunately. With current batteries, the fast of the charging is better for smaller, maybe 3,000 max. Yeah. I think this is why they're demonstrating it around 4,000 milliamp capacity, because it's pushing it and it's much more tolerable. So I'm loving what I'm seeing. Seriously, I'm genuinely loving what I'm seeing. I'm confused this time of the year, so many options. JD Tech TV, yes, but I wonder how it affects the life of the general and long term. I mean, it's right to be having these concerns, but honestly, this is where we need to look at their track record, and their track record for battery life longevity has been better than some companies that don't even offer fast charging or fast charging to that level. So I think their credentials and the accolades for fast charging and battery longevity is to be trusted. I'm being very serious. It should be trusted. The same way people put their level of trust and presumption in companies like Google being able to have the best camera even before the phone has come out, next to Apple having the best video in a smartphone before it's even come out. This is the level of trust that I have in Oppo, that they have the best battery support longevity wise for their technology and for charging that they've invested in. Honestly, I'm just being very honest. Then credit to, they would have had two different or two multiple types of cell within the same battery housing. Yeah, exactly. It's based on a two dual cell 5-volt battery tech. Yes or no, Oppo is making, while parent company honestly most seems to be developing blah blah blah. Modern day tech was good. Welcome. Hey. Remember, all new joiners, this live stream is streaming in 4K UHD. So turn up if you've got the bandwidth and watch it in 1440p and 2160p. Yes, I'm now saying BBK. Okay. Concept creator. In your opinion, it's like saying AMD did a great job with the SSD creation by the Samsung part. Oppo is close to OnePlus. It's this, Oppo's as close to OnePlus as Porsche is close to, I don't know, close to Bentley, I guess, or how Lamborghini is close to Audi in that retrospect. Then it depends what you find important in a phone. What phone would you like the most? Yeah, personally, the best Android phone on the market right now is probably somewhere between the OnePlus 7 Pro and the Galaxy S10. Maybe the Note, but it's quite controversial what they've done. Can we talk about Bezelgate? Maybe later on. Note 10 will have, man, you guys are engaging tonight. Thank you. Note 10 will have the same camera, but different kind of phone if the S Pen is important. Exactly. So I would say for Android, OnePlus 7 Pro or the Galaxy S10 series. And then for iPhone, like I said, you don't have a choice. It's the new iPhones or nothing in retrospect. I don't use a lot though. Get a OnePlus, honestly. Tech for your needs. What's good, man? Thanks for joining. Tech for your needs in the house. What's good? Okay, how important do you find battery ambient? Zaya, so hey, I'm your old subscriber watching you from Pakistan. Welcome back and stay blessed. Thank you for joining. I appreciate that. Very much battery to last the whole day. Get a OnePlus. Just get a OnePlus. If it's an Android, just get a OnePlus if you care about battery. And then fast charging as well. I agree. Have some credit, but to get like 100 watt, that's like mental. I know Vivo was showing something like that. Hey man, it's been a while. Glad to join the show. What's good, Ezekiel? What's good, Mr. Audio Specialist in the house? And I think I struggled to keep up with you lot today. Like I genuinely struggled to keep up with you lot today. You lot are just hella engaged, and yeah, that's a good look. That is a good look. I love the engagement tonight. The engagement tonight is fire. So let's go over the last two charging technologies that we've got here. So charging technology number 2. So 30 watt wireless VOOC flash charge delivers performance at a fast as wired solutions. Now, and this is something that pretty much lines up to what Xiaomi announced with their 30 watt wireless charging, and obviously their pursuit for 40 watt wireless charging. Damn, this is nuts. Using the best in wireless charging technologies, allows a 4,000 milliamp hour battery to reach full charge within 80 minutes. Capable of Qi standards, so it's open, it's not proprietary. Great. And it's charging, also supports 5 watt backwards compatibility, which is awesome. Real-time adjustment process, efficient charging components to ensure more efficient and safer charging to avoid overheating. Boom. Shout out to AirPower. Enhanced safety. Oppo is adopted. Man, this is Oppo. Man, Oppo. 30 watt VOOC 4.0, which is up from the VOOC 3.0, which was their 20 watt charging technology that you find on phones like Oppo Reno series. And this is good. This is good to see, being able to charge at 30 watt output, pretty much going to be on par with the Warp Charge 30 of the OnePlus series. It's man, I don't know about you guys, man, but this is innovation. This is sick. All credit and all accolades to Oppo for this. All credit and all accolades to Oppo for this. This is the stuff that we need in the industry to make it justifiable why these phones are increasing. When we're seeing stuff like this, you feel like the investment that these companies are getting from the profit margins that we're spending on them, you know, buying their products is going to somewhere realistic, you know, and it's justifiable. So bravo, Oppo. First topic out the way. Well done, well done. Let me just round up the questions and we'll move to the next topic. So I gotta get me a OnePlus soon. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Well, honestly, if I get a OnePlus, wait, I mean the 60 series coming out soon? Yes, it is. Sierra, hey, what's good? Welcome to the live stream. Hello. I need to get a OnePlus soon too. Tech Focus. Damian Wild. Apple, we give you 18 watts now and you can't say that wireless charging is faster anymore. And then hold my beer. That's what I love, man. I only care about the wireless charging now. It's coming and can deal with the 30 watt, but wireless charging is nice. Imagine being able to have the same 30 watt warp charge, which charges your phone at 4,000 milliamps in an hour, the same as your wireless charging. Bring the future here. Please, can you tell me what headphone you're using right now and what headphone is your favorite? I'm not really a headphone guy. I think Ezekiel is probably going to be the best person to ask in regards to headphones. So I would say go check out Ezekiel's channel. He'll probably be the best to advise you. I'm this particular headset is from Grain Audio. So I don't know the model. I just won it in a giveaway, so I'm just using it. It's kind of comfortable still. To tech YouTubers out there, I get close to being homeless sometimes. I stopped making tech videos, planning to return. I had to, dude, man, real life is more important. Trust me. Like, look after yourself. YouTube is always going to be there. Apple gave me an 18 watt charger, but I'm using the Anker 30 watt. I feel comfortable with that. Yeah. Oh man. This is not sponsored by Supermalt, by the way, but you know, I like to show it off. My West African brothers know. Whew. Any headphones you have? Add Dragonfly DAC to it, next level. Man, the type of tech, being with my brother John, the type of tech that you're exposed to, JD, you're like the sensei here. I'm not ready. I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. No. I wasn't ready. Okay, next topic. Anyone want to guess the next topic? Next topic is kind of a curveball. So it's actually based on a topic that I didn't realize it was going to trigger so many people. Like, are we back? Back. Tell me we're back. Should be back. Sorry about that. My laptop just had a blue screen of death. I don't know what the hell just happened. We should be back. Just as I was shifting to the next topic as well. Mad ting. All right, so that's loaded up. Let's load it up. No, not now. Come off that VPN. Come off Skype. Come up Microsoft Teams. Close window. Please tell me we're back. We're back. Yes. Oh man, this is just a weird thing about live streams, man. You just don't know what you're gonna get. It could just spring up on you and just go. Okay. All right. We should be back. The laptop had a blue screen of death for some whatever weird reason. It was the Windows update. It's either gonna be a Windows update or blue screen of death. You pick your poison. It depends which poison Windows wants to give you, but that's mental. That is mental. Yeah, we're back. We're back. Okay, so we're gonna jump to the next topic because I don't want to be taking people's time unnecessarily. Let's see any comments that I've missed. Man, you guys go in. Um, okay, I see. This is like like a sponsored live stream, bro. John is next level. Trust me, he is. Yeah, but my job is not working great and stuff. Seems the stream is stuck. Yeah, no, that was just a blue screen there. But I hope you have to be out. Hope you haven't been out too long of your channel. Okay, going hard, man. Sorry to hear it. Okay, 12. Hey, how you doing? What's good, Nagi? Really depends. My current one is demonetized, so dead. YouTube has become harder and harder. Okay, to be fair, Spanish channel, CPM. Okay, back. Yes, you're back. Alex Tech Focus. Damien thought it was a blue. Yeah, Windows update would have been funnier. Having blue screen to death is funnier. Yes and no. Okay, let me try and hit the record button again. Start recording. I don't know if my file would have recovered from the previous. So next topic is bang. It's based on this tweet that I put out, and I put this tweet out because it was weird, man. YouTube sometimes does these weird recommendations where I start watching old iPhone videos, and then Marquez's video review of the OnePlus 3 came out. And I was like, okay, guys, let me just watch it. Throwback OnePlus 3, 16:9 aspect ratio display, first dash charging. You know? And then when he was running through the specs and he said 6 gig RAM and 64 gigabytes of storage, I was like, rah, 2016? Rah, okay. I remember when people were saying that was overkill, and then all of a sudden, skadoosh. So I just put this tweet out, and I just put it out like, that's just kind of funny how in 2016, OnePlus brings out a phone that has 6 gig RAM and 64 gigabytes of storage. In 2019, Apple bring out what I thought was a 6 gig RAM phone with 64 gigabytes of storage. And I was like, okay. And I just thought, let me just put out that thing got like over 100 likes, good couple retweets. People were commenting and like the stuff that people are coming up with, man, is nuts. Only to then find out that let me try and see if I can find the article. So I know for a fact it was on Leaks. On Leaks must have put the initial. Let me see if I bookmarked it. So let me just find the original tweet that OnLeaks posted. So bear with me. I think he posted it. Yeah. So let me just switch to desktop view. So he must have posted this. Yeah. He must have posted this. And like everyone was thinking like, okay, okay, the Pro models have 6 gig RAM. Apple are listening, 6 gig RAM, big batteries, for in retrospect to Apple, these were big batteries, especially the 11 Pro Max, like 3500 for Apples, it's kind of thick, so we were thinking this, and it was like, all right, cool, this is right, this is heading in the right direction, you get me? So then there was an article from Mac Rumors, I believe. Let me just switch over. So then there was an article from Mac Rumors basically saying that the RAM configuration is actually 4 gig across the board. And these are the battery capacity. So the battery capacity even became more impressive on 11 Pro, but then the RAM configuration just wasn't. And that just made things very, very interesting. That made things extra interesting. I was like, rah, okay. Things are not what we expected in that retrospect. So then coming back to the tweet that I put out there, you know, I'm there thinking like, this is even more controversial because I'm like, I did a full reaction live stream to the iPhone 11. And again, this is not to say these phones are not good. I kind of like their approach in terms of their camera experience for consistency and the video performance. Like, wow. Every extended dynamic range video that I've seen on the iPhone 11 series is just kick ass. It's banging, the video. But, my goodness, for a Pro device, and people can talk about RAM management being also perfect on iOS. It is not good enough for the long term. I saw speed test. I've seen everything Apple Pro's video. I've seen other people's video. iOS 13 is buggy enough as it is. I hope 13.1 fixes it, but it's kind of reminiscent of the problem that iOS it's honestly kind of reminiscent to the problem that the iPhone 10 had with 3 gigabytes of RAM and the port optimization of iOS 11. This feels like a rehash of that. Problem, and that's very worrying. If we're seeing stuff like this now, where in a lot of cases the iPhone XS Max, fine, there's that thing of optimization and whatnot. The iPhone XS Max is actually outperforming what we're seeing on the iPhone 11 Pro series phones. This is not a good look for long-term usage. It's just not. So it's bad enough that they weren't able to put, not that they weren't able, they chose not to put 6 gigabytes of RAM in there. I really appreciate that they've put a really thick battery in an iPhone with 18-watt charging, which is in between the charging speed of a Galaxy S10 to a OnePlus 7 because of 18 watts, you know. S10 is about 15 watts. OnePlus 7 is about 20 watts. 18 watts sits in between there. Cool. Fast enough-ish, right? But this is not good enough. It does not matter what people think about iOS optimization and how great it is. This is not good enough for a pro-level device, right? What's even more infuriating is that Apple have put 6 gigabytes of RAM in their iPad Pro range, be it all based on what storage model you get, i.e. the 512 gig and a 1 terabyte model. But they have a 6 gig RAM configuration in their iPad Pro line. Why is the iPhone 11 series, especially their Pro device, not getting that same level of treatment? And like, I respect iOS as much as the next guy. And if you don't believe me, I've got my XS Max here. XS. I'm one of those. I've got my iPhone XS Max. It's here. Like, this isn't about dissing Apple because I'll never use an iPhone. I said it. This is my first year where I will not be upgrading to an iPhone because I just don't think it's good enough. I don't think they've cut the mustard. Fine, they've cut the mustard when it comes to the camera. Hell yeah, I'll give them that. I'll definitely give them that. So far, they've got the best video stabilization at up to 4K 60 frames a second with no unlimited. Like, I'll give them that. For their camera, I think their approach in terms of consistency for focal lengths and stuff, like, but this is not good enough. Anyone that tries to defend, like, the type of replies that I was getting on specs don't matter, and I'm like, the whole thing about specs don't matter when it comes to certain things is true, but when it comes to that price point for long term, specs do matter. If specs don't matter, then put a small battery, put 2 gig RAM, and then just basically base everything around optimization. If you want to optimize something, as your OS gets more resource intensive because you're adding new features, the underlying features are increasing, resources are increasing, you need more and also quality hardware to optimize it from. You need it. You need it. Apple, I don't know why you're doing this to your iPhone users. You're not doing this to your iPad Pro users. Your iPad Pro are getting pro level mobile experience. And I seriously, especially since the launch of iPad OS, I don't get upset. I never got upset at people buying iPads. But now, I think people that buy iPads are like, raw, you're getting your potential long-term use out of this product based on the features that, whether you know it or not, but when you discover it, you're going to be even more amazed that you bought the iPad Pro. You're not getting that with this. So on top of not having a truly quad high definition display, on top of not having an OLED Pro Motion display at 90 Hz or higher, on top of not having a professional input-output I/O like USB Type-C, Gen 1, Gen 2, right? You're still using USB 2.0 over Lightning. Not good enough. On top of not having bilateral reverse wireless charging because you have accessories that support it. Not to charge phones, but to charge wireless earpods, right? On top of not putting the fingerprint scanner back and bringing Touch ID back, which is your best security authentication. Fine, Face ID is, convenient, but if you still have an evil twin, they're still going to be able to unlock your phone. Whereas when you have an evil twin, they can't unlock your phone with their fingerprint. You see, so the security level is always going to be better with fingerprints, period. This is not good enough. It's just not good enough. The only thing I'm seeing that is a major benefit is these cameras and maybe the battery capacity of the 11 Pro Max specifically. Everything else, in somewhat retrospect, the way people are realizing how much 3D touch was actually a clutch thing to use, in some ways, I make the argument that will you really notice that brighter panel so much and miss 3D touch? Fine, 3D touch is not there. You've got much bigger battery capacity. It's a good trade-off. But in some cases, people can make the argument that the iPhone XS Max has a better display experience than the iPhone 11 Pro. And then on top of that, now the performance is telling a question. So for all the naysayers out there, Apple are great. They were a company that did what BlackBerry did, but better way. They took a Hail Mary, they made their own software, and it paid off. That's not an easy thing to pull off and sustain as well through services. We have to give them all the accolades, but this is not good enough. It just isn't. It really is not. So people that were getting in their feelings, like, guys, this is not good enough. It's not good enough. So, right, let's go through the comments and catch up. I didn't want to trigger too many people per se, but speaking the truth. Okay, let's go back. Mate 30, I mean, DOA, bad customer. Okay, we'll talk about that. That's going to be the last topic. Hint, hint. Apple apologist. Exactly, Damien. Apple apologists. Don't apologize for them. Don't make excuses for them. This is not good enough. It's just not. People aren't saying the 11 has 4 and that's enough. Please tell me the Pros don't have 6. It's 4 crossable. Yeah, 64 gig. Like, nah, come on, man. You can't do that on leaks. I wish the Pro was removed from devices. No, not necessarily. I don't have a problem. If you're gonna call a product Pro, justify Pro. Put a Pro display, put Pro size battery, put Pro size charging, put a Pro camera in terms of flexibility, right? Put things that are Pro and put a Pro software experience. So I don't have a problem with the Pro name. Just don't, they're often lackluster. Not necessarily. I actually following mentions. Apple apologies be like 4 gig RAM is enough, yes, but only whilst it's their flagship. Once it becomes no, but if 4 gig is enough, then it shouldn't be crippling at this stage. People are already having performance issues and they believe it's iOS 13. I don't think so. They said the same thing for iOS 11. I had my iPhone 10 for a whole year. All the software updates did not fix that poor optimization when it came to RAM management. It did not. That tells you that it's at times you just didn't put enough hardware in there to compensate for that poor experience. Pretty much, yep. everything Apple Pro, it's just not enough. So even them saying it's sat there, it's actually inhibits developers. It does. Forget the what about the end user? Forget the developer for a minute. What about you as the end user when you're using your phone? You know, by the way, next year iPhone 11s Pro Max. That's a mouthful. Yep, definitely. It's honestly, I expected more RAM, especially on the 100%. Heard iOS is going to come, but throttling. Exactly, man. All this. If this is what we're calling about good RAM management, throttling, and you know, and apparently they're having overheating issues as well. You know, I don't know. Can't be even S version. Imagine A13 having problems and not actually being optimized. There's a couple of overheating issues with these new iPhones. Unboxer, I think, proved that people can unlock it with the vid himself. I say we all switch to Huawei. I mean OnePlus. Yes. What's good, Roger? Life Attack in the house. What's good, RIP Huawei? How is Android for you? Sorry, I agree. It's just not good enough. Yes, but that is my point. So no Pro has best technology, and it justifies best gaming available. Uses 4 gig RAM. Totally with you on the Pro name. I got 11, but what's Pro about it? Exactly. If you had a ProMotion high refresh rate, you had the USB Type-C, you had the features of iPad OS where you had a proper desktop class Safari browsing, you had a proper file manager where you can plug things over USB-C and transfer things, manage your file management yourself, have high data transfer over USB rather than using USB 2.0, and you had reverse wireless charging specifically for AirPods, and you had, come on, man. The name. So that was topic number 2. I kind of wanted to get that out there and pretty much say that I don't know, man. I really devs do matter on iOS as they... No. I'm not saying they don't matter. I said even just forgetting the devs for a minute. Just imagine if the end user experience is suffering so much, right? Maybe not so much, over exaggerating a bit, suffering. I don't know kind of the crazy things that devs will be going through. Inferior hardware, then the buyers end up with, yeah, it's a fact. No. AirDrop, all those, those features, iMessage, FaceTime, AirDrop, all these things that make an iPhone, no one is taking away from it. We know that. That's like their base. It's like what BlackBerry did with BBM Messenger and all that, right? We're not taking away, but what we're saying is that this is not good enough for that price. You at that price of 1,000, right, or 1,100, depending on the Pro or the Pro Max, it needs to be 60 gram, 128 gigabyte storage base, right? It needs to be. Will destroy Samsung salivating crazy, but the problem is that Apple always call things Pro, like the dual core. Oh, mate. So that's it, man. Wanted to get topic 2 out the way, that with the recent likes of the official open sales for iPhones 2 days ago, with the official, announcements of the battery capacity and the RAM across the board in a space of 2 years, I'm even more glad that I'm not buying an iPhone 11 Pro this year. I'm really glad I'm not buying an iPhone 11 Pro this year. I'm just not. I am just not. Last but not the least, topic. And I think you guys figured it out. This is the one. Huawei Mate 30 series, starring the Mate 30 Pro. Starring the Mate 30 Pro and the Mate 30. So this is an article from The Verge. Huawei's flagship Mate 30 Pro has an impressive specs, but no Google. I'm going to say this now. For everyone that thought that this whole entity blacklisting was maybe something to just, call a bluff, and, Huawei were doing a lot of damage control, our P30 series supports Android 10, it supports, EMUI 10, you'll be getting it and stuff like that, and, pretty much making it to seem like, yeah, it's fine and whatnot. This ban is real. they can't use Google services officially out of the box. You've got to do some tinkering to get around there. You have got to do some tinkering to get around there. And what I want to do first is I want to treat this phone as if it runs Google services. Let's look at this phone for hardware wise, and let's compare it to where it was from last year with the Mate 20 Pro, which was one of my favorite phones from last year. Damien knows it was one of my favorite phones from last year, and compare to where we are now. So let me just bring that the trusted GSM Arena. You gotta trust GSM Arena, man. Mate 30 Pro, and compare Mate 20 Pro, just so we can see Mate 30 Pro. And I'm gonna switch to desktop. Boom. All right, let's see. A year difference, and where are we? So Mate 30 Pro, you know, Mate 20 was announced October, so they've pushed it back. They've pushed it forward, I mean. So, you know, this got announced sooner expected. So dimensions slightly bigger. Give it a glass 6 now. Bigger screen. But this is my first pickup here. This is my first pickup here. Display. And I was discussing this before, that this looks like, to me, personally, a step back. Right? People may think that, it is true that there's more to a good display than the resolution. But to me, you've taken a step back. Pro device with less of a potential screen quality compared to last year, and a display experience in terms of design, because this new, and I'm gonna put my hands up, right? I'm probably one of the people to blame for these waterfall displays and these horizon displays coming out. It's too much. It's too extreme. I am all for the borderless, notchless, you know, screen experience. I mean, I love my OnePlus 7 Pro, right? I love what it's doing. I love that design. I love that OnePlus 7 Pro, right? But this is just too extreme. You see, so first pickup is that this display experience is very questionable to me. Very questionable to me. So first chip to have the 7nm plus silicon with the, you know, Kirin 990. Better processor in terms of especially graphics experience. You know, the Mali GPU does step up, more cores, slow clock speed, but more cores. You know, the architecture has been built from the big little. Looks like they're using UFS 3.0 storage. Now the camera. So I mean, let me click away and go to full. Camera's a big step up. Camera's a big step in the right direction. You know, in terms of even the camera sensor size, look at the camera sensor size as the main camera. It's a 1/1.54 inch sensor, whereas the 1/1.7 was already massive. This is getting close to that 1 inch sensor size of a point and shoot camera. 40 megapixels with that pixel binning where it's taking 10 megapixel shots, 80mm equivalent field of view. You know, this is the camera in terms of hardware. Is finally it shoots 4K 60. I don't know how they're pulling off this super slow motion at 720p and 7,680 frames a second. I don't know how they're pulling this off. I like the fact that it's 1080p 960 as well. Video is looking on point. They didn't do anything for the selfie video, which again, Apple's winning at the minute. Same, a step up in terms of the selfie. Charging, 40 watt supercharging, still impressive with 4,500 milliamps. Samsung is winning there in terms of their support. This is impressive. 27 watt wireless charging, which is impressive. Very good. Very, very good. But this Horizon display, with what I've seen, I'm not liking it. I'm not liking the fact that there's no physical volume buttons and the volume control. I just think it would just be a cluster to have that as my daily solution to be able to change the volume. Like, it's an absolute cluster. That's something that just I've seen every person's video on it, and that volume control of being able to double tap on a screen, not me. I don't want these Horizon displays. These OnePlus 7 Pro phones and whatnot have a screen to body ratio when you're measuring it with the curve is 92%. Make the chin maybe smaller. No, not at the detriment of volume buttons. And then on top of that, is below a QHD plus display, right? So you're not putting a high refresh rate. It's below QHD plus. I get the pro aspect is in the camera and the charging technology and the battery tech, but the display is important. The display is important. And I'm sure they've sorted out the other reliability issues in terms of quality control, as well as, maybe brightness and the color rendition. Fine. But this Horizon display, for me, with no volume buttons, I think using it on the daily, I would just be frustrated. I know it seems like such a pet peeve, but it feels like more than a pet peeve to be able to, like, and I've seen the Vivo Nex 3. I've seen the Nex 3 in person. The discoloration of a Horizon or waterfall display on the sides is really bad, to the point where it basically just looks green. It's take it for me, I'm one to blame, man. I love these borderless displays, but not to this extreme. Not to this extreme. Not to this extreme. So that's the thing I feel about. I just feel like even if it had Google services, this Mate 30 Pro does not get me anywhere near overall as excited as the Mate 20 Pro did when I did my unboxing video on it and I had it for a little while. It just doesn't. It doesn't fill me with the same confidence that it had from last year. It really doesn't. And it should do, but it just doesn't. That's not accounting for the whole Google services, man. I'm treating this as you buy it, you can buy it out the box. I just wouldn't be excited to get this phone. Some aspects I would be, don't get me wrong, but as an overall package, I still respect what Huawei are doing. Don't get me wrong. You build your own chipsets, you're investing in your own charging technology, your battery tech is on point, your cameras, like hardware wise, as well as even the software pipeline processing, the features, even more flexibility now that you've really improved video as well to really align to it. I respect that. That's sick. But everything else, you just went a little bit too far, You went a little bit too far. And I guess, really confirming that you want to be premium in that retrospect, I get it, but man, the price that is coming in at, 1,100 euros for the 4G model. Yes, I don't know, man. In this current state where, you're trying to push Huawei mobile services, again, you don't have a choice. You have to. You don't have a choice. You really do have to, because Google ain't backing you. You're using Android 10 with EMUI 10 on an AOSP level. You don't have a choice. The price that you're commanding, I get you've now built yourself to be that level of a premium brand in that retrospect. You're asking too much. You're asking too much from your mass media, from your mass public that you're trying to grab to sideload apps. You're asking too much. This is just too much. This is just too much. Would I want to at least try the Mate 30 Pro? Of course. I've tried, my first video that I did on my channel, my second video was on a P9 and a P9 Plus. So I've been using Huawei products, in and out, from the P20 Pro, the P10 Plus, Mate 20 Pro. I've been using Huawei products. Would I want to try it? Yes. But would I be excited like I had the same excitement for the Mate 20 Pro? No. I'll definitely say I'm not. I'll 100% say that I'm not. So, technically T in the house. What's good, baby boy? What's good, fam? that's kind of my that's kind of where I am right now. That's kind of where I am right now. So let me just go through the questions quickly. Man, there's you lot are just on a different level of engagement tonight, man. I can't even keep up. Wink slide NDA squad, where you at? Hold my beer mix. Yep. Not true. Nokia doing well. Yeah, they are with software updates as well. There, maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like the Mate 30 Pro has a real. It does have an audience. It's like a step back without Google, and with the display, as you say, it doesn't fit anymore. Yep, possible, but I gave up the headphone jack. Better good. I was an audience. Maybe phones are lackluster to some of us, but because we see so many different phones all the time, to a regular person might not be. Yeah, I don't. I'm not one of these. I'm not one of those people that I don't find the smartphone industry boring. I'm being serious. Yes, it's plateauing. Yes, it's back to back to back. It feels like, but I still get excited for these smartphones. Even these phones that I'm critiquing, they still excite me for me to critique them and talk about. You know, I'm not in this boredom mindset of smartphones. You know, I'm just not, and I'm heavily exposed to smartphones on a regular. So maybe I'm the exception, but I'm not bored. I want more out of these companies, but I'm not bored of smartphones when I'm seeing innovation and battery tech like this and camera tech. You know, I'm not. You know, so yeah, too much curve, no volume buttons because of it as well. As part of that, it's just not usable. It's unnecessary. If you can actually side loading is not a problem. Someone's going to figure it out. Some XDA developer or someone's going to figure it out. The side loading is not the problem. You're just asking too much for people to do that. It's just, that's not the experience. That's not a seamless premium experience at £1,100 starting. Even me as a tech nerd, I don't want to be doing that. I need a seamless experience, and that's just too much. I let go a while back now in regards to the 3.5mm headphone jack / port. There's a number of Bluetooth products. We don't have a choice now. It's just gone. Compare it to the Mate 20X. I want to see your reaction to that phone next version coming out. Mate 20X is impressive, especially the 5G model. Techfos, good grief, that's dedication. I went to the opposite and bought iPod. I don't know why they didn't release. Mate, they don't have much options. They got to be careful what they bring out, because they don't have solid software to run. Yeah, display is show off. It's just too much. And the thing is, there's so much. The lack of symmetry to the display is even worse now. It's all over the place. The notch, it just doesn't hit well. It just doesn't hit well. It just doesn't hit well. We're waiting for that baby to come technically too. Got excited for the 11 keynote. I'm buzzing to see more folding tech. Definitely. I'm really, really excited to see what happens with foldable screen phones, as I like to state. The latest durability test of the Fold is just big yaks. Yeah, what's going to be? Ah, man. Jerry Rig everything is a nut job. What he did to the Galaxy Fold was crazy. Those are the 3 topics for tonight. If anyone's got a bonus topic that they would like us to talk about, if not, fire your questions away. We'll have about 5 to 10 minutes of a Q&A. Fire your questions away. Ask pretty much anything, but let's try and keep it to tech as much as possible. But yeah, those, shout out to the replay crew. I've been able to record this live stream as well, so I'm going to try to cut down each topic into either a small video or small videos so that people can watch back the necessary parts. Yeah, man, just let me know what you think. So, first topic was, I'm just going to go back. So first topic was based on Oppo's, Oppo's charging technology with, the 3 VOOC chargers that they've brought out and announced, which is the 65 watt Super VOOC 2.0, 30 watt wireless VOOC, and VOOC 4.0 with 30 watt wire charging as well. Next was based on this tweet, which is Apple, 4 gigabytes of RAM and 64 gigabytes of base storage on a Pro device that starts at £1,000 and 1,100 for the max price it is not good enough. iOS 13 at its current state, it's not good enough. 13.1 will fix some things, but it will not fix the poor RAM management. It is not good enough. It's just not. And last but not least is the Mate 30 Pro. As much of a beast as it is, even if it had Google services, this is a very confusing product versus the previous Mate 20 Pro. And it's even worse that it doesn't have Google services as well. So I have very mixed feelings, where I was so in love with the Mate 20 Pro last year. I'm not feeling that kind of same vibe, but I still have a lot of respect for it. So those are the topics for tonight, man. So yeah, any questions, man? Bonus questions. The BS. I didn't mean to press send. Bezelgate, baby. What is Bezelgate? Enlighten me. Put a link in the chat. What is Bezelgate? Switch Lite is the new Game Boy. Yes, Switch Lite is the new Game Boy. I think it doesn't deserve the name Switch, because you can't switch it and dock it, but it's a Switch in the sense that it supports a Switch game platform, and $199 is beautiful. I still think it's worth spending an extra £100 and just having a Switch and being able to dock it. You know, at work we play Smash Bros every lunchtime on the Switch 8-player, and I need to get a Switch. Like, Super Smash Bros Ultimate is the best fighting game. There's no other fighting game where you can have 8 people in some capacity playing at the same time and kicking it out. So shout out to Nintendo for the Switch. They knocked out the park. Much better step up compared to what the Wii U was. And Switch Lite will be a hit. Like, £200, I could buy that for my son for Christmas, and he'll be enjoying great games on the go. Yeah, you know, he'll be turning 6, so that might be his Christmas present. True. Meant to say, what's the best part of the new OnePlus phones? You're gonna find out next week and on the 10th. We getting lit. We barely got them to make the X, and now they're increasing the bezels. It's a big deal. Especially looking forward to brands to see what let's see with the Pixel 4, man. 15th of October, it's official now. Wonder if they will bring back the headphone port. Samsung did bring back the SD card, and they did bring back water resistance from the S5 to the S7 series. So Samsung is a company where I wouldn't be surprised if they brought back the headphone jack, the headphone port. I would not be surprised. Basically, the iPhone 11 has slightly more bezel, but nothing wow. Oh yeah, but it's the same as what we had with the 10R. Like, even the bezels on the 10S just feel big compared to where we are. Just the bezels compared to what I have, you know. Yeah. Even the bezels on the 10S just So yeah, Apple made zero effort. They must have had a lot of screens that they needed to still sell from Samsung. They just tweaked a couple of things and made it brighter, and then boom. Yeah, man. That is Sunday's Tech and Chill show, people. So I hope that was good as always. Again, man, for the replay crew, just remember that this is being streamed in 4K UHD. So if you've got the bandwidth, man, watch it in 1440p, 4K 2160p, and enjoy that crispy with that nice audio quality as well. And you should hopefully be getting a condensed version of this in either one single upload or several uploads, depending on how I can condense it down to make it easier to play back. And give it some feedback if you think that's actually a good idea for the channel, until I get to a point where I can actually do proper reviews. You know, this is a much more, you know, streamlined process for me, where I can still engage with you guys and talk tech, which is what I love doing. So if that's all, which it should be, peace and love. Have a great week. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Sleep. And for all those night crawlers that are working, work and be safe as well. So again, I'm your host Ben from the Lover of Tech channel. This is your Sunday Tech and Chill show, 22nd of September 2019, and I will catch you guys next time. Peace.